morning, through to the Ofcom switchboard.
Hello there, can I speak to Kelvin Metallic, please?
Certainly, sir. Hold line, please.
Thank you.
Welcome. Putting you through now, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, is that Kelvin Metallic?
Speaking, yeah.
Hi Kelvin, it's James from Flex FM.
Yeah,
Hello there, how are we doing?
I'm alright.
Good, good. I'm just trying to open like a form of communication with you to basically see what the issue is.
The issue is you're illegal.
I know, can we save like the politics and just get to the point, is it?
It's not the politics.
What?
The issue is that our tasking has changed. We now intend to remove stations from illegal broadcast.
Okay, so that's
Whereas
every
before
station.
we were interference centred,
Right,
and if you were causing interference, you would get hit.
yes,
Our
correct.
intention has changed that we now intend to remove stations. So the tasking from Ofcom, if you like, to me, is to remove stations from broadcast, and that's essentially what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so have you guys got new funding or something then?
No.
You haven't?
That's
You've got a bit of a mammoth task in hand, haven't you?
Well, don't we know it? Yeah, I'm not going to get into that politics side of it with you. It is a change in brief. That's basically it.
Okay, so it's not a personal thing; it's a general thing then.
Yes.
Okay, so that applies to every pirate in the UK.
Well, yeah, but you have to accept as well. We can't apply it to every pirate. That's where your reference about funding comes in. You know, if I was going to be absolutely fair, I'd say to every single one, right, the minute you're on air, I'm going to take you off and kill you off, sort of thing. And I can't do that. So, you know, there is an element of prioritisation, if you like.
Right.
And you've been causing a lot of problems.
How
Simply.
have we been causing a lot of problems? Can I ask that question?
Well, if one, you are illegal. Two, we're causing Wandsworth a lot of problems. I know you've moved since then. And three, you were causing a lot of aggravation around complaints of interference, if you like.
Interference? Can I ask what interference that is? What frequency has that been interfering on?
I'd have to go look it up, and I honestly don't know at the moment. Because I haven't got any files in front of me.
That's fair play.
If I'm wrong in that, then I'll let you know. But what I would say is I can't justify to any single pirate or anyone who happens to ring me up exactly why we're targeting them as opposed to any other. It would be impossible for me to do that. We have looked at the situation. We've decided what we want to clear. For instance, we started right down at the bottom of the end where we use restricted service licenses. I know that doesn't affect you, but we've made it absolutely clear that no one is going to be allowed in there. We've cleared it out. I'm gathering that maybe Shine are coming back at a weekend now. They're going to be taken out. You know.
Okay, that's a fair enough statement.
Where I can say that makes sense.
Okay,
The rest of it is pretty much trying to. Hang on, just hear me out, and then I'll let you speak.
Go on.
The rest, go on. I'll let you speak. Go on.
Okay, well, basically, what it is, I understand you're doing a job. That's fair play. You've got a job to do. But like a daily thing, is the daily thing right? Do you think, like to target a certain station, to do a daily target? You know, because that's how it's been recently, isn't it?
What you may only speak for your own station. I only speak for Ofcom in that regard. But what you've got out there are way too many stations in London. You must have noticed this for yourself. Of course. It was only a question of time before the bosses said, well, hang on, what's happening here? There's just too many stations. And that's what they've said to me as an enforcement manager. They've said to me, what are you doing in terms of enforcement? You've got too many stations in London. It's causing too many complaints across the board. It's causing 40-odd, nearly 50 cases of aircraft interference every year. And I know some of you dispute that, but it's indisputable. The facts are there. You know, we have to deal with them.
That's fair enough. For that, we're going back to politics, aren't we?
Well,
propaganda.
Politics. You can call it politics if you will. I'm just trying to explain the rationale.
Okay.
But there's too many stations in too small of area. They brought out the community radio stations. They had a real job to fit them into the radio spectrum.
Yeah.
Ofcom's job is to manage that spectrum and to make sure everybody can use it. What the pirates are saying is, well, we think there's a gap there and we're going to use it. And those gaps in reality just don't exist. But when you've got so many stations trying to come in on that, it becomes a real problem.
Okay.
And it becomes a problem for everyone.
Okay, that's a fair statement. Can I just speak for Flex FM for a second and say, the frequency's been chosen because 997. There's nothing on 997 apart from South Coast, which is Radio 1. So there's the cause of interference is pretty much non-existent. Also, all the linking frequencies and the broadcast equipment is all phase locked and to a very high standard of quality. So I sort of put to you, like, I understand you're doing a job, but like, if the frequency's been chosen carefully, and also the equipment has been worked on carefully so that it doesn't interfere. And I understand that obviously you want to clear up the dial, but a daily hit from Ofcom to me just seems like excessive. Like, I don't know how your funding can support that.
Well, again, that's for me to worry about.
Okay.
But what you're not picking up on is the change of motivation, if you like.
I have picked up on that.
We're not concerned just with interference. We are concerned with the existence of these stations.
Okay.
And we just don't want as many stations existing.
You're basically a new guy that's taken over, Kelvin?
I've been here a while, but I've been in charge here now for a couple of years, yeah.
Couple of years, yeah, because I've had dealings with the guys in the past. Obviously, you know we've been around for 23 years. So I don't really know what to say. Well, I'm going to look.
You need to look at other avenues of legal broadcast, is what I would say. You looked at Ritz. They had a good model in essence because it got them a license. Now, I can't speak to them. I don't know how they're enjoying being legal or not. But there will be a round of license issues coming up in sort of January time, I'm told. You need to look at some different way of broadcasting.
It seems okay. That's fair enough statement, but there's a lot of other stations that aren't getting touched, and there's definitely a lot of politics going on at the moment.
I absolutely wouldn't try and defend that. That's where you make a fair point. That's where you make a fair point. But I also know what I can do, and you talked about funding. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. I know what's achievable and what would never be achievable.
Okay.
So that's where I've sort of got to cut my cloth. I can't be drawn as to why other stations aren't being touched. But if you look, most stations are actually being touched. That's the other thing we've decided to do is actually try and be a little bit fair about it and spread it out. So if you actually look at our enforcement actions, nearly all stations are getting to feel some pain, if you like.
Okay. Well, I will put to you this, that there's a station 2 miles down the road. We've been hit about 12 times and they haven't been touched once. Not once. I know that for a fact. So that doesn't seem fair in the slightest.
I don't even know which station you mean, just down the road from you.
I don't really want to say. I don't want to say in case you decide to target them.
I'll have a look. All I can say to you, it's easy for me to find out who you mean. I'll have a look, but I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
I'll have a look at it.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying that I want you to target them. I'm just saying I find it baffling why we get hit 10, 12 times and they don't get touched once in that time. This is in the space of 2 months.
A number of times because we're looking for you to stop broadcasting.
It's not going to happen, mate.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you what I'm looking for. You can say it's not going to happen, and that's where we'll end up in sort of conflict, if you like.
Limbo.
When us shouting at each other.
I'm not shouting. It's not what this phone call's about.
That's why I'm grateful to you. That's what I'm saying. There's no point us shouting at it.
No, it's crazy.
We're opposite. The likelihood of us sharing a pint ain't that high, really, is it?
No, I'd share a pint with you, mate. I wouldn't have a problem with that in the slightest. I just think you got a job to do, so have I. It's just, I'd like to know. All I wanted to know really is what they're targeting. So what I'm going to go away. I'm going to look at all the equipment and look at this interference statement, and because I very much doubt that, and I'm going to put some things on the spectrum, but I very much doubt that anything's interfering. I know that's propaganda. I understand you've got a job to do.
I'm not saying it's propaganda. I'm just saying one of the reasons when we decide who we're going to sort of target was based on past record and interference. Now, it may be that your flex are being targeted because you've been around for 23 years. Now, that's just way too long. Yeah, how do we justify as Ofcom, we're supposed to regulate these things, that we've allowed people to exist for 23 years doing illegal stuff every day of the week? That makes no sense.
But hang on a sec, it doesn't always, like real life doesn't come down to numbers and figures and you know,
No.
stats, you know.
But it doesn't come down to us as a regulator being in a comfortable position where some of these stations have been around for so long.
Okay. Well, what can I say to that? So like Cool's got to go then, haven't they? Surely Cool's got to go, and all the other big stations.
There's a few big stations, yeah.
Okay, all right, fair play. I'm going to look at my equipment, and I'll probably give you a call back if that's okay.
Yeah, no, I will talk to you, and I'll talk to you quite politely, and
Excellent.
I won't try and bullshit you.
Brilliant.
But at the same time, I'm not offering you any sort of relief or anything else.
That's fair enough, mate.
All right.
That's fair enough. Take care, Kelvin. Have a good weekend, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, bye. Well, what can you say about that?